Hello everybody, I'm here with my two little girls, Miss Anna Mae and Miss Sophie, and we are gonna, I've already changed Sophie into her little dress that I got, where did I get this? It was from a British company. It's called Mini Club. Anyway, I got this online, and it came with two dresses in one little package, and then this is the other one that's so cute. So we've already got Sophie in hers, and her hair's done with her little pink bow, and she's going barefoot, and I just think she looks so cute. So her sister, Miss Anna Mae, she's going to be changed into her dress, and while we're changing her, we're going to have a chat. I'm going to do a couple of tags, or one tag. I'm going to do the other tag another day, because for one thing, I love tags because it gives you something to talk about in your video. And I've noticed that we haven't had all that many tags lately, so you know what, it seems like some of us are running out of things to say, and me for one, so it's nice to have a little tag to talk about some things. And Suzanne of Suzanne's Babies has been wonderful about having she's come up with two tags this week, and they're good, and I finally have a chance to do this. So we're going to start with the first one, but before I start, I just want to draw to your attention, those who follow me will notice that I am now filming from the right side again. And which makes me so happy. I really didn't like filming from my left. I love my new changing table and my new drawers and everything, but changing the babies on that and filming was really difficult. But I had told you before that when I got this crib, I didn't know how I was going to, before I got my changing table, I didn't know how I was going to be able to change the babies on the crib. Well, I ordered this little, this device, which I'll just flip down here. I hope you can see it through everything, because I've put a blanket over it. It's a device that it attaches on to the crib, and there you can see the little attachment hooks on either side, and it attaches onto the crib so you can change the baby over the crib. Well, I knew this would be perfect for what I wanted to do. The only problem was I ordered it, and I didn't want to spend $100, and my husband was pretty busy, so it wasn't like he could turn around and make me one. So I ordered this from Amazon, and it just came. And that was like 6 weeks ago. In fact, yeah, I got my crib on March 11th, and now this is nearly, and I ordered it right at the same time. So it's been nearly 8 weeks. And it showed up today, and when I came home from work, it was there waiting for me, so I was so happy. And this is my first video on it, but I know it's going to work really well, and I can fit my two little girls on it at the same time, and we can film them. In fact, I think I'm going to put Sophie back down here for just right now. And we'll put her back up after I'm done with Miss Anna Mae. Anyway, so back to the tag. This one is about games that we played as children with nursery rhymes and rhymes. Well, I have to modify it a little bit because I honestly don't remember the rhymes that went with a lot of these games, but I do remember the games that I played. And so I'm hoping that that will be fine for the tag. I really enjoyed hearing Suzanne talk about to recite the rhymes, and they were just so fun. And Debbie with Mad Hatter, she recited the rhymes about Susie, that game with the name Susie, which is of course my name too, but that was fun. So I just thought I'd start with talking about the games that I played as a child. Now, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm 62 years old, so I was born in 1954. But there's a lot of things that were a lot different then than they are now. And one of the things is, as a child, I played outside all the time. We just did. We didn't play inside, and we didn't watch a lot of TV because the TV was, you know, you had 11 stations, and you know, maybe a couple, you know, you'd watch TV in the morning time and watch the cartoons, which Felix the Cat and some things like that. And sometimes I'd watch the reruns of Lucy, and you know, in the evening we'd watch, and it came on once a week, and that was Andy of Mayberry, but or the Andy Griffith Show. But you know what? Other than that, we didn't watch a lot of TV, and so we played outside with our friends. And where I lived, and I lived by the beach in Southern California, it was, you know, it was 365 days where you could play. Well, not necessarily, because sometimes it did rain. But for the most part, we played outside all the time. We didn't have any closed-in campuses for our elementary school. Everything, all the doors were facing towards the playground. And on the playground was all of our equipment, and we had ball fields, handball courts, everything. And, you know, you'd run out there and you'd play in the bars, you know, all the time and all through lunch, and play baseball and tetherball and handball and all that. And then you'd come home, and after your homework was done, you were playing outside with your friends until it got dark, and then you came inside. And we didn't, you know, there was a lot of kids in my neighborhood. Of course, I'm a baby boomer, so you know that that's a lot of children around. And I think every house going up and down my block had you know, 2 or 3 kids in their family. And the thing is we had a swimming pool in our yard as I was growing up, and all the kids during the summertime were always at our pool. And my mother made one good rule. She said, you can't send your children here to swim unless you come too to watch them, because she couldn't watch them, you know, all the time. And she didn't have to watch me. I was an excellent swimmer. I learned to swim when I was 3 years old, and swimming ever since then. But, you know, she wasn't going to be responsible for those other kids, and I don't blame her. So, you know, the mothers would all trek down there in the summer, in the morning before noon, you know, before lunchtime, from about 10 to noon, and the kids would swim, swim, swim. We had a great time. And as we got older, and I was a teenager and stuff, we'd swim at night, too. And, of course, and then we had the beach then, too. But we played, but some of the games, I'm getting kind of off topic here. Some of the games that we played was one that would have, it was called horse. And some of you may remember playing that, where you take a ball, one of those bigger balls, those big rubber kind of purple balls from school, if you were lucky to have one, or one similar to that. Even a kind of a basketball would have been fine too. And you threw that up against the garage door, and as it came down off the garage door, it would bounce once, and you had to jump over it in between your legs without touching it or it hitting you or bouncing twice. And if you missed, then you got the first letter to horse, H. And so you'd go on all the way through H-O-R-S-E, and then whoever got at the end and they spelled out horse, well, they're the ones that lost. Well, we would play this over and over again. And then the other thing, one of my favorite games to play was, because we had so many kids on our block, we played in the summertime, we played until it got dark. As soon as dinner was over for everybody and we'd go run outside, we played until it got dark, hide and go seek. And, I mean, we'd sometimes have, 20 kids out there, and we would do this all night long. And you had a certain, we blocked off certain houses that you could hide there. And couldn't go past those boundaries. And, you had to tag them or get to them before they got to the free zone at the one person's house up on their porch. So we played that over and over and over again. And that was just so fun. And we were always playing. We always were playing outside and very active. And I feel kind of bad because now I don't see that a lot. Now my children, my oldest is 42 years old, and they were kind of stair steps after that. My boys, they played outside in our neighborhood all the time with the boys on the street. They played Ninja Turtles and all of that and had a great time. They had to stay on our street and stuff like that. They couldn't, but there was there was a lot of fun to be had. And as they ran inside the house, got something to eat, a popsicle or whatever, and ran back out. But, now, and when my kids were growing up, there was no Nintendo. They had Pac-Man, and they could play that later, but they didn't sit around and watch TV a lot. They didn't play games on the computers a lot. There wasn't that. And we didn't have the iPhones and the iPads and all that. They just had each other, and they had a good time, and that's how it was when I grew up as well. And oh, you look precious, Anime. So those were the games that I played as I was growing up, and it was a wonderful, fun childhood. And I see my grandchildren that only live down the block, and they have activities to play, their trampolines and their jungle gyms and all that stuff that they have outside in their backyard. They have those to play on, and they play, and their friends come over and stuff. But I do see them spend a lot of time, on the computer or in the house, and they don't do that as nearly as much as some of the other kids that I know that spend so much time doing that. And I think that's why parents nowadays have their kids so into sports, so much sports, because they want their kids to be active, and that's important and involved in things like that. Where we didn't have, when my kids were growing up, yeah, they played city, little league, with the minors and the major leagues and the pony leagues all through their growing up, from elementary, junior high, and into high school, and that was a great thing. But now kids are really involved in a lot of those sporting activities, and I can see the real need for that. But anyway, I think it was a really fun tag because, you have a chance to remember your childhood and some of those things. And I wish, Suzanne, that I had some nursery rhymes to go with this. The only thing I can think of is Ollie Ollie Oxen Free when we were playing hide and go seek forever. But other than that, I don't remember any rhymes going on. But I did have fun doing this tag and dressing my girl. And I think we're missing Anime's little rattle. Oh, there we go. So I think they just look adorable in these clothes. And I'm not a real good judge about size. I get the little size. I think these are newborns, but when I pulled it out of the package, I thought, these are so big. But they're not. They fit them perfect. And there's my two little sisters, Sophie and Anime, in their pretty dresses. So thank you for watching, and spending some time with me and answering that tag. And I look forward to coming back in a few days and answering another tag by Suzanne about movies. That's really going to be a fun one for me. And so anyway, so just giving you a little close-up of my girl. There's Anna Mae, and there's Miss Beautiful Sophie. And both of these babies were made by Asha from Pickles and Tea, and I love them to death. And I will see all of you in a couple of days. Bye for now.